Good evening and welcome to our June regularly scheduled council meeting. I'll ask that you please stand and join the council in a moment of silence to recognize our troops that are currently serving in harm's way and those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you. Please join us in a salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Ask that the acting clerk please read the sunshine notice.
This meeting is held pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act. Adequate notice of this meeting was advertised in January 11, 2015, edition number 10, and was provided to the Star Ledger, Daily Record, North Jersey Herald News on January 11, 2015. Adequate notice of this meeting was also posted on the municipal bulletin board, filed with the acting borough clerk, and provided to those persons or entities requesting notification.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Frida. Absent. Councilman O'Dowdy.
Here.
Councilman Barish.
Here.
Councilman Cobell.
Here.
Councilwoman Senti.
Here.
And Councilman Giantonio.
Here. Thank you. This evening we have the distinct honor and pleasure to have some of our 7th grade students from the Pearl Miller School with us this evening, and Mrs. Schlett. Councilman Giantonio asked that you have the opportunity to address the mayor and council this evening, so I welcome you, and please step forward to the microphone and be heard.
I'd like to thank the council this evening as a project at school, as a follow-up to argument and persuasive writing. The last bend in the unit was to become activists, and I thought, what a great way to have the students become citizens and find something that they could act on. So some of the students chose ideas that they wanted to implement in the school. Some students chose ideas they wanted to implement in their everyday life, and some students chose ideas that they would like to see our town implement. And those students are here tonight. So we thank you for your time, and we'd like to introduce our first group. If you would like to come up and maybe board.
And for the record, if you young ladies can just state your name for the record.
It's part of it.
Okay, okay. Okay. It's not here.
Sitting down, so we have a little technical difficulty.
You can stand if you like.
Yeah, they can stand.
Oh,
Absolutely.
good, okay.
Of course.
All right, then stand in front, and you can speak loudly. They don't need to. We'll turn these around for everyone to see in a few moments. Okay, so you can stand in front here. And they practice with nice loud voices.
Okay.
So you can see them.
Hello, my name is Danielle Stitzel. I'm Carly Manizia. I'm Erin here. First, we would like to thank you for your time, the mayor and the town council, for listening to us and the effort you guys put towards Kinnelon to help it make it a better place. We have parks for people, parking lots for cars, but no parks for dogs. Kinnelon is made up of many different unique communities, yet none of them have a dog park. The residents of Kinnelon would like a dog park somewhere here for the town to come together. So some of the pros of having a dog park would be that dogs can maintain their social skills with people and with dogs. They can get training from the equipment that will be in the dog park. They can make new friends. People can socialize with others who have common interests, such as their love for dogs. Dogs can be let off leashes, whereas they may not be able to if they're out with their owners. There can be bonding between dogs and their owners, and dogs can get physical and mental exercise. So Kinnelon wants to stay up to date with as many things as possible, and getting a dog park could just be the answer. Other places that are seeing the need for a dog park are Morristown, New Jersey, Maplewood, New Jersey, Parsippany, New Jersey, and Morris Plains, New Jersey. Some of the places where the dog park could be put is somewhere in Silas-Convict County Park, and just like Smithfield Park in Parsippany and Central Park in Morris County, these parks are both parks for people and they both have dog parks in them, so why not do the same? Some other places where the dog park could be put is behind the municipal building and library, or somewhere in Split Rock Reservoir where there is 5 acres of land. Some things that can be placed in the dog park, there could be equipment to help the dogs get physical and mental exercise, like the picture. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a picture right here, and it's like a virtual reality picture of a dog park, and it has like ramps, hoops, tubes to run through, platforms to jump on, and like holes to run through. Also, it could be BYOT, bring your own toys. So the dog park could stay as clean as possible. And also there could be a waste bag dispenser, so also they can maintain the dog park by owners picking up after their own dogs. And here you can see, it says, I don't know if you can see it up, but it says the off-leash recreation area. And along the lines of that, another great idea of having a dog park is because the dogs can be off their leashes, whereas where if they were just in public, they couldn't be off the leashes. And it would be a fenced-in area, so the dogs can run around freely without their owners worrying about them running away. And some people might bring the point of having either an electric fence or just having a fenced-in yard. But the problem with an electric fence is that the dog can't run freely with other dogs, as it will be able to in a dog park. As you can see here, this survey, we interviewed our whole class, and 17 out of 19 students were all for a dog park in Kinnelon. Another one of the main reasons why Kinnelon should have a dog park is because their dogs can socialize with other dogs and they can make friends. According to ASPCA, dogs are like us around other dogs. Dogs are very social animals and they need some kind of interaction all the time. When dogs socialize with other dogs, it leads to a healthier dog both physically and mentally. And when dogs interact with others, they can learn good behavior skills and good communication skills. In conclusion, having a dog park can benefit the residents of Kinnelon greatly. A dog park is very popular with students, it's a great addition to Kinnelon, and it's a benefit to dogs and their owners. Let's not fall behind other towns. We can fix this problem easily by getting a dog. Thank you for all the time that you've given us tonight so we can introduce our idea of a dog park. We hope you consider this idea, and again, thank you for your time today.
Great presentation. And just before Councilman O'Doherty speaks, I'm just going to ask if it's okay if Councilman Barish takes a picture of you for our Facebook page. We don't have the press here tonight. You guys did such a great job, so if it's okay with your parents.
In the center there. Let's get together, the three of you. All together. There you go. Perfect.
Oh, turn that one sign so you get the dog park in there.
Yep, we're good. 3, 2.
Great. Okay, Councilman O'Doherty has a question for you, so before you step away from the microphones, let's see what the council has to say about
Great
your
job,
presentation.
ladies, very nice. At any rate, do you have any idea which properties you might want to entertain this idea on? You know, where we might want to place it, where we might want to place this dog park.
Yeah, we said somewhere in Silas-Convict County Park or behind the municipal building and library. and in Split Rockers Park.
I know that OLM has been entertaining this idea. I don't know if it's come to fruition or not, but behind their gym facility, they were talking about doing it. So you might want to approach them and see maybe that property might be available for the usage. You might want to implement it over there. But a great idea. Thank you.
And if you get the chance, Montville actually has, I think, one of the better dog parks in the area. So that's on Changebridge Road, right by their municipal complex, not too far away. So if you get a chance, I know you guys don't drive yet, but if your parents want to take a road trip, it's a pretty nice complex. Any other questions for our presenters?
Only that I could suggest that for the Montville dog park that they have, the president of their organization lives right here in Kinnelon. If you want to send me an email, I could more than glad to put you in touch with him. Okay?
Yeah, very great presentation. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Connor Thompson, and before we begin, I'd like to thank you for inviting me to speak to you tonight and for making Kinnelon such a great town to live in. I know our town has a pretty good recycling program, but the people in the town of Kinnelon do not know when and where to throw out the prescribed medications. I'm here today to suggest the plan to change the way people in Kinnelon throw out the prescribed medications. The Seminole Prevention Coalition of the Seminole County in Florida, on its website, it says, antibiotics, anticonsultants, mood stabilizers, and hormones have been found in drinking supply of 46 million Americans and have been detected in drinking water of 24 major metropolitan areas. Although Kinnelon is an environmentally friendly town, many people do not know how to properly dispose of their medications. Many people leave dangerous drugs in their cabinets. Many people flush their medications down the toilet. And many just throw away the drugs in garbage and they end up in our landfills. I am here today to propose a solution. I would like to request that the Borough of Kinnelon has regular disposal dates at the Town Hall or Police Department, which are included on the borough's recycling calendar. If the people in the town of Kinnelon flush their medications down the toilet, it will end up in our town's reservoirs and well water. Or even worse, it can end up in the stomachs of children or being unlawfully used by teenagers. People don't want their drinking water to contain prescribed medications. Unfortunately, this is exactly what happens when irresponsible adults flush their medications down the toilet. If the people in the town of Kinnelon throw away their prescribed medications correctly, there will be less pollution, people will be safer, and if there's a calendar, people will know when to throw out their drugs. I propose that people will throw out their prescribed medications on the first and second Saturday in every month. Encouraging the residents of the Kinnelon to properly dispose of medications will keep our community safe from environmental hazards and crime. Therefore, please consider making the prescription medications disposal program a part of Kinnelon. Borough recycling program by placing 2 dates in each month in red on the recycling calendar for the proper disposal of dangerous medications. By doing this, Kinnelon residents will have a visual reminder to recycle medications. Thank you for listening to my idea to help our town. I hope you seriously consider my idea. And here I have a calendar of the recycling calendar, and the first 2 weeks of Saturday in red is the prescribed medication drop-off at the police station. And like how medication gets into your drinking water, like you flush it down the toilet, and it ends up in your septic system, which goes into your drain field, and then it gets into your groundwater, and then it ends up in your faucet, and all the necessary things that you need. So thank you again for listening to my idea, and hope it works.
First, it was an excellent presentation. I want to just say that you're extremely articulate, and that's a credit to your parents and to your teachers as well. You pointed out some great points this evening. We just need to advertise and communicate better with the public. We do have a drop-bin in the police station, but a lot of people may not know about it, and maybe that's a little bit of a challenge for us. But I was just talking to Councilman Barish, and he's in charge of our Public Safety Committee, so I think we're going to take your recommendation under advisement, and we're going to do a little bit more public notification on Facebook and through our social media sites. So it is a problem, and you're exactly right. It is not only in Kinnelon, but throughout the country. So just a great presentation. So thank you so much for coming before us this evening. Does anybody else have any questions or comments? Thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, we are 7th graders from PRM School and from Mrs. Shillette's class of English. My name is Ricky Danielle,
I'm Kayla Einhorn, and I'm Nicole Calabrese.
and we have been given an assignment to pick an issue that would affect us and our town and be activists about it.
Before we begin, we'd like to thank the mayor and the town council for their time and dedication towards Kinnelon. Their concerns to make our town as best as they can be are highly appreciated, and all of us as citizens are very happy that they are maintaining our success. However, because we know that they want to make this community as best a place as possible, we'd like to address a problem here that could revolve around serious injuries and even deaths, the minuscule amount of bike safety. Kinnelon has wonderful bike riding land, which is great for exercise and fitness. But in order to secure these benefits, we need to extend the paved lane that starts at the Kinnelon High School and just randomly disappears at River Road. We need to extend this lane so that it ends not on River Road but on Route 23. This will ensure safety, exercise, and convenience for bikers.
An important statistic our town should know is that, according to bike safety articles, an estimated amount of 67,000 cyclists a year visit the hospital of head-related injuries just because of bikes. This number can rapidly decrease if we would just extend the bike lanes.
In addition to bike lanes, a sidewalk from Kinnelon High School to Route 23 would also be a great addition. If Kinnelon had sidewalks, it would help improve the town, because currently there are none, where the dangers of walking on the road are at their highest. According to the Public Association of Road Safety, it is unsafe, unreasonable, and often disagreeable for pedestrians to be forced to walk on the roadway. A few years ago, there was a tragic incident on Kinnelon Road. If we had sidewalks, it would have been prevented possibly. As you see here, there are no sidewalks from the Kinnelon High School, so students are forced to walk on the side of the dangerous and busy road. And over here, you see a town that has sidewalks. This demonstrates that with them, people will become more active and would be more encouraged to walk on the streets. Therefore, it would be greatly appreciated if you took the idea of having sidewalks from the Kinnelon High School to Route 23 into recognition.
Also, after presenting our bike lanes idea to our English class, We made them sign a petition, and as you can see here, 16 out of 17 people in our class agreed with us to extend the bike lanes.
Because we know that you care about and want to make our community as best a place as possible, we're telling you our concerns about the lack of bicycle lanes and sidewalks, and our idea to extend the paved lane that we already have, so that it goes from the Kinnelon High School to Route 23, and also our idea to install sidewalks from the Kinnelon High School to Route 23. We feel strongly about these topics. We want citizens in our town to walk and bike as safely as conveniently as possible, and we want to make our town even better than before.
We thank you for your time, dedication, and concern about our project. I hope you put this idea into consideration.
Fine, Joe.
Great presentation. Here's a little frustration with government. Kinnelon Road is not a borough road, it's a county road. So we can bring your concerns back to our county and freeholders and discuss with them your presentation. And in fact, I may have an opportunity to talk to the director of the Freeholder Board to ultimately maybe entertain you guys coming down and maybe doing a pitch before them as well. But I think that great ideas. Bike safety is important. We actually a couple of years ago had a problem on Facing Lakes Road, just past Lake Reality, with a curve that was extremely dangerous, and some bicycle riders ultimately ended up in an accident with a vehicle. So we changed the speed limit. We basically put up some signs for bikers as well. But Kinnelon's a beautiful town. You guys already know that. People love to come here and bike. And so I think that, once again, you've identified something we can put some time, effort into, and hopefully come back with a solution. So thank you so much. Anybody else from the dais wishes to address our presenters?
Just if I could just make a general comment of all three groups. Fantastic job, very professional. You did a lot of research. It was obvious. You're all very comfortable speaking in public. I'm very impressed. Thank you.
And I just have one other question for you. When does school end?
Tomorrow.
Oh. Well, listen, have a great summer. I know that you guys have worked really hard all year long, so thank you so much for coming before the mayor and council this evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mrs. Schlett, if you could please put together a list of the students' names for us so that we can incorporate into the minutes, and also for the Facebook page, if that's acceptable to their parents. Parents are okay with that?
You want me to email it?
If you can email it to the borough clerk, that would be great. Okay?
You want it tonight or tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow will be fine. It's just,
Okay.
you have here.
And I probably should take the moment to acknowledge our superintendent is with us tonight, Ms. Diane Giuseppe. And I just want to tell you that I recently had a roundtable meeting with a bunch of realtors, and they are unanimous about how fine and how amazing our schools are. So that's a large credit to you and the teachers. And just want to once again thank you so much for such a great job, and don't stop. Okay? You're welcome to stay, but this is typically where people run for the door. I don't know why. So, if in fact we're going to have a little bit of an exit, we'll just take a minute just to let people get home if they have to do that. So, your choice. I never tell people they can't stay.
I don't know. I think they don't want to hear the treasurer's report. It's kind of subtle.
I'll wait until they hear the school budget passed.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, payment of school.
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden, or pick them up?
Yeah, just all of a sudden.
I'll let Diane here do it. Oh, sure.
It's going to be like that every day, though.
Yeah.
Oh, here, I want to...
I think they're thinking that way, so I don't think...
Well, I just want to make sure.
Make it clear.
do want to come down.
Let me hide his back.
Oh, perfect. One we had at the meeting, I thought it was going to come off. That's why I maybe grab it a little. Okay. Some of the details. The budget, what they did tonight. Critical. There's a question, that's right. We got Luke here. Darren, if you can't find it in 2 seconds, I'll worry about it.
The report indicated we started out with cash on hand as of April 30th, 2015 in the amount of $2,334,941.97. Receipts for the month of May total $9,024,960.45, with disbursements amounting to $6,088,674.68. The new balance on hand May 31st, 2015 was $5,271,127.74.
Someone make a motion to accept the report as read.
I'll make that motion.
Your second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman O'Doherty?
Yes.
Councilman Barris?
Yes.
Councilman Cobell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Senti?
Yes.
And Councilman D'Antonio.
Yes.
Next agenda item is the mayor's report. This evening, a couple things that I'd like to bring to the public's attention. First and foremost, tomorrow evening, the Kinnelon High School will be holding their graduation, and on behalf of the council, we want to extend our congratulations to the class of 2015, and that includes all of our graduating students at the middle school and Stony Brook as well. We got a call from a couple concerned residents regarding gypsy moth spraying. There are a number of trees that have been... you have to leave the door open.
Thank you.
There's been a couple trees in town, I shouldn't say a couple, there's been a number of trees that have really, borne the effect of some very, very hungry caterpillars. I reached out to the county today, and they indicated they in fact were or are considering spraying portions of Silas Conduct, the county park, but beyond that, I was told that in fact may be a state program. I know a couple years ago, I guess more than a couple, close to about 20 years ago, we actually did spraying in town ourselves, where we hired, I guess it was a biplane to, basically protect the trees. So at this particular point in time, unfortunately, we did not budget for any spraying of any trees. I know that some trees, once again, look like they're not going to come back. Hopefully that's not the case, but at this particular point in time, the only area within town that has any consideration for any spraying will be the county park. Wanted to mention to you this evening that the Senate Environmental and Energy Committee unanimously endorsed SR 106, State Bill 106, regarding the Pilgrim Pipeline. And if you haven't seen the article or the notification, it reads basically, lawmakers condemn Pilgrim Pipeline at Senate committee hearing. So now you have a bill that has made its way through the Assembly. You have a companion bill at the Senate level, and I think correctly so. The bill is sponsored by bipartisan effort, Senator Richard Cody and Senator Tom Keene, and they opposed the project, the 178-mile project, because they are concerned about environmental concerns, and especially the impact potentially on the aquifer and the water supply. So I applaud the committee's efforts to that end, but right now the resolution and bill that was being presented before the committee correctly identified public health and safety issue concerns, specific to referencing the drinking water supplies and the highlands. So once in a while Trent gets it right, so they are working on that. I want to mention that I am meeting with Congressman Freelandheisen on Monday, I know that he has, on behalf of the borough, submitted a request to the Attorney General, not the Attorney General, the Postmaster General regarding the zip code request. So I'm hoping to get an update at that meeting. I know either Adam or Dan are going to report on our temporary site over at Silas, and I'm glad to see that's moving along. I know that Councilman Cobell is going to be reporting on the municipal budget this evening as well, so I won't, cover ground twice with you. I did want to mention that we do have an emergency appropriation resolution on this evening. Our computers here have been somewhat lackluster. Doesn't even describe the fact that they are not working properly. The file servers are not where they need to be, and it's causing an operational problem for us, combined with the fact that our OPA request may in fact not be communicated properly, and so we need to basically protect the infrastructure of the borough from a technology perspective. So I know that Councilman Barish has been working on that, but this evening we're looking for an emergency resolution to purchase computer equipment and software for both the police and the borough. So that's on the agenda as well. I'm not sure, Dan, if you intend to report on the grant from the PIA this evening? No. Okay. Received a letter from our GIF representative, Mr. Frank Gavelli, indicating that Kinnelon is going to be the recipient of a safety award recently announced by the Morris County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund. The borough scored among the highest and was recognized for achieving 80 to 100% participation in the safety incentive program, had a 0% lost time accident frequency, and received the maximum extra credit available, 15 points, for conducting motor vehicle checks on all employees, volunteers operating municipal-owned and operated vehicles. The borough received a $900 safety award for attaining this achievement. So that's to the credit of the employees, and I think, Dan, in part to your efforts in coordinating with the GIF. But nice to get recognized for safety initiatives here within the borough. I know that Councilman Frieda is not here this evening. He had mentioned at our workshop, I believe, that he had reached out to the Morris County Mosquito Commission. They, in fact, have treated the drainage ditch behind the municipal building, and they also have been treating the wet areas across the street next to the high school fields. So, once again, just trying to coordinate with the county to make sure that we're receiving some benefits here in Kinnelon. That's the end of my report, so I'm going to move on now to recreation. I understand that Councilman Frieda is not here, but he's given a report to Councilman O'Doherty, so Dan.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Carol Spenti and Bill Yago on their win, their election win, and I just hope that they have the same enthusiasm and dedication that I have had for the past 15 years for the borough as they enter into the next year. But I also want to say one of your mailings said that I had intentions on closing the DPW, or at least it was inferred, and I never had any intention of closing the DPW. We're just renovating it. We're going to open the full facility very shortly. But I'll go on with our the report on recreation. All spring sports have come to a close. There's one championship game left for baseball and softball left. Boys lacrosse has had their final tournament this weekend. All-star baseball and softball games will continue through June 28th. It was a very successful season in terms of participation, volunteerism, and weather. Approximately 155 Discovery Camp registrants will converge on the Stony Brook School on Monday, June 29th, for a 3-day camp. That's a record number of people we have attending our camp this summer. Last weekend, Recreation Commissioner Mike Airy was honored during the Major League Playoff Series. Mike has worked many years to build a baseball program. Registrations have tripled as a result of Mike and fellow Rec Commissioner Jim Tilton's efforts. He was presented with the outdoor perpetual plaque, the Mike Airy Over the Fence Club. The plaque will be hung outside the Booton Avenue Field Shack stand, and any player with an over-the-fence home run will be added to the plaque. This morning, Councilman Frieder, myself, and the Recreation Director, Melanie Shuckers, and the DPW Supervisor, John Whitehead, and the new Parks Recreation Maintainer, Todd, met to discuss extensive renovations planned for the municipal complex practice fields and all other facilities. Unfortunately, Councilman Barish was unable to attend because he had a fire call this morning, one of the many jobs that he does do. At any rate, we did do an extensive plan and came up with a few ideas that I'd like to present tonight to the council also. 2 summer employees, college students, for the fields, we could utilize them this summer because we're taking 1 complete field out of service. So we'd really like to hire these 2 people. We awarded $30,000 for this maintenance, so we're asking maybe that this monies would work for that, and possibly a man that has experience in turf fields so that we can run this obliquator machine with a laser grading system so that we can get the fields to the right elevations. If we're going to do this, we have to do it right. And I believe that the monies are available from that $30K that we can utilize that for that process. Also, I'm asking, too, that on the Boonton Avenue fields, we utilize the recreation fund, the open space funds, open space recreation monies, to purchase 2 new tanks. Toilet tanks. The tanks are in very bad condition. It is an open space field. We have used open space dollars on that field before for the tennis court repairs and for the new playground, and it is a Green Acres open space field. So therefore, those monies can be dedicated to those toilets, which are in bad shape. They take 3 or 4 times to flush. Also, we're going to do the scoreboard over at Boonton Avenue Field, and we have 2 volunteers that are going to do that. We have Mario from All Purpose Electric, who's a resident of our community. He's going to donate.
KRP.
Oh, KRP.
Just
Yeah. It's KRP. Where we have a new scoreboard. It's been placed, but we don't have any electric to it. So, and Ken Shadiak of All Wet Irrigation, he's doing our irrigation on the new fields here. That's been awarded, that project. He's going to donate his ditch wish so that we can get that done over at KRP and get that scoreboard lit. It's been in the ground for a long time. And that should be the end of my report for recreation. As far as DPW, the building construction is moving well. Mayor, it's coming right along. We authorized last week to have new plywood, being our plywood delaminated that was put up in the early 60s, so it's, at any rate, we had to do that. Was a cost of $21,000 additional to that project, but it's all been done. The roof has been completed. They completed it today, late this afternoon. They worked through the drizzle today. Also, we had at that site, the excavation next week will be started. We have 5 wells located on that site because we had an oil spill prior to the year 2000. We've had monitoring wells on there, and we've been paying for them to be monitored for a long period of time. 4 of those wells are clean right now, so we're able to cap them. We won't incur no more costs on those wells. 1 well we still have to keep open because it was contaminated at a period of time, but it's clean now, but we have to let it stand for a little bit longer for monitoring. So that eliminates some costs for us. Now, our facility that the mayor mentioned, where we're going to do at Silas Conduit Park, will be open this Saturday at from 8 till noon. If anybody wants to utilize it for their grass, their brush, their logs, or whatever, okay, that's the only thing that we're taking there. We're not taking any recycled material other than the grass, logs, or brush. It will be open. We will have somebody at the facility to monitor it from 8 till noon. Okay, but R&R will still be open, and I believe they're open from 8 till 3 o'clock on Saturday, and they're also open from 8 till 4 during the week. So you'll be able to utilize that facility during the week, and yet on the weekends we're trying to make it easier for some residents that they feel that they've been slighted by having to go down to Riverdale to utilize the R&R site. We're going to start paving Basin Lake Road, but we don't know the date yet. It's either July or August. We're waiting for Tilcon to get back to us with a date where they can do it. We work in conjunction with Tilcon, which is one of the government facilities we're allowed to use. So we're waiting on a date from them. Right now, we're still patching roads, we're working on fields, we're sweeping, and we're cutting along the roadside. You can see our workers out there all the time, and maintaining fields, which is a big process. So that's why we're asking for the couple other employees, because John Whitehead, our superintendent, says with our wish list that we do have for maintaining these fields and keeping them in superior quality, we need extra people to help with that during the summer. And that's the end of my report.
Dan, under your report, I probably should mention that we're going to advertise for garbage bids. It's always a major expense for the borough. We've done a great job, I think, over the last couple of years in basically freezing that cost. I think the last contract we did actually had no increase into it. So I know that you're chairman of the committee, of course. I just want to mention that.
Yes, we are
that's
putting
looking
that
at
out.
us. Thank you for your report.
With the same service, with two collections a week. We're not asking for that one collection a week, which we had done a few years ago. We're going to still maintain 2 collections per week.
Great. Thank you for the report, Stan. Now moving on to Public Safety and Technology, Councilman Barish.
Thank you, Mayor. Kinnelon Police had a pretty long run of unit citations and awards for the first quarter. It was a pretty quiet quarter this time around, so they have nothing to report. The fire company had members attend our last work session last week, presented an A and a B plan, worst case, best case scenario for refurbishment or replacement of Tanker 33. That's our 3,500-gallon tanker stationed in Smoke Rise. In case you weren't aware, Smoke Rise does not have any fire hydrants at all, and around town generally we're pretty limited on water, so that's one of our most important pieces of the fire company. We appreciate the effort, information, and the options that the firefighters brought forth to the council. Also of note is Engine 22, which went out for refurbishment, is now back in town and back in service, and we should get another 15 years at least out of that. It was done very, very well. We've been very active lately. There was a couple of smoke conditions due to malfunctioning air conditioning units, one at Meadtown, one at what we call the Sleep Tech building at 135 Kinnelon Road. Bloomingdale, we thank them very much. Bloomingdale Fire Department responded with their ladder for both of those. Other remarkable items that occurred in Kinnelon, we had an overturned vehicle in Smoke Rise about a week and a half ago. Thank goodness everybody was all right on that. But again, the rescue was out with a very well-trained team, and they did a rapid, exemplary job of extricating the victim. They had to take the roof off of a car that was on its side in order to get the woman out, and they did a great job with that. They were also out training with Riverdale. They did a mutual aid shuttle drill with them down in there. There was also a mutual aid standby to Riverdale. The music store, if you weren't aware, caught fire down there and actually displaced another family. They've not had very good luck down in Pompton Lakes. So our engine and personnel stood by in Riverdale while Riverdale was present at the Pompton Lakes fire. Lastly, as far as the fire company, just to report this morning, like Dan, Councilman O'Dowry was saying, we were out on a smell of propane call, and also at 11:30 last night, and there was a number of calls that we ultimately did not get dispatched on once it was identified that there must have been a release of propane gas or the like somewhere in the area. We had a report from the Riverdale chief that Wanacue, Bloomingdale, Butler, Riverdale had all been out prior to us and after us on the same smell. And in fact, when I was arriving at the firehouse this morning, I was sensing that same smell. So we believe, especially due to the weather conditions with the clouds and the heavy rains, that maybe that's banking down the propane, and it was kind of moving in a balloon. We don't have any reports from any official venues that say that happened, but it's just our best guess at this point. Also of note, we had an LEPC meeting, that's the Local Emergency Planning Committee. That was held on June 8th. Councilman Cobell was in attendance with Kinnelon Police, Kinnelon Fire, OEM, Board of Education. We reviewed sheltering facilities. Currently, we do not have a shelter that has heating. So while we made out pretty well during Sandy in one of the schools, if we were to have a long-term power outage during a very, very cold period in the winter, it might be an issue, at least sheltering in town. So we're reviewing that, the procedures, the policies. Ernie Palatucci, our OEM coordinator, is pursuing FEMA money that's available, possibly for a grant, to fund a generator for PRM or Keel Currently, we use Kiel as the shelter. We're considering using PRM. It's been recommended by the custodial staff there that might be a better solution since it has a large cafeteria and a large gymnasium, so we could have a daytime area if people are up, or a place that if you wanted to sleep you could retire to. So progress on that. As far as technology, as the mayor indicated, we have an emergency resolution. We've been trying since the beginning of the year to get some computers into place. Our computers are 10 to 12 years old, in disrepair, as you've heard me previously report. Phones also have been held up because they're going to reside on the computer network, their IP phones. And phones have been an issue. If anybody has been calling and leaving messages or sending emails that are getting lost, we're kind of aware of it, and it's an appropriation issue. And the quotes that we have are all on state contract, and things should proceed pretty quickly once tonight's approval is in place. Lastly, on the website and social media, social media has been working out quite well for people to get in touch with us. We were approached via Facebook Messenger a number of times about some unkept properties in the South Glen, Felkay, and Hilltop areas. That information has been passed along to our zoning officer for evaluation and possible action. So we do monitor that for messages coming in, although we're still going to count on the website and the phone for main complaints and issues. Lastly, the website is pretty much ready to go. There's a final round of training that will be accomplished next week, and we're looking for a July launch for the website. That's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. I just want to mention that this year's carnival there were no fireworks. We actually have on the agenda tonight approval of Smoke Rise Day celebration fireworks. The reason why the carnival operator or owner was not able to have any fireworks this year, paid by him, I should mention, was because of the construction that we have basically pertaining to the DPW building and yard. So just want to take note of that and say thank you, Adam. Now moving on to Finance, Councilman Covell.
Thank you. As you see on the agenda tonight, we'll have a public hearing and adoption of our 2015 municipal budget. I believe the public hearing would just be on the amendment to the budget, because we've had a public hearing on the budget already. The reason for the amendment was after the original budget was introduced, additional information became available, and we also finalized, I suppose, a contract for sale of our excess sewer capacity for a little over $1 million. This allowed us, that and some changes that came due to some breakage on salaries and other information and other revenues, a few additional expenses, but mostly additional revenues, allowed us to finalize a budget for 2015 that will show no tax increase on the municipal portion of your real estate tax bill. We did this by using approximately $130,000 of additional surplus over and above what the original budget had. And that, as I said, as I mentioned, came from the additional revenues and other changes between the time of the original budget and the preparation of the amendment. Mr. Lumet is here tonight to help with any questions, detailed questions on the budget. He's our municipal auditor and was extremely helpful in helping us prepare the budget, because as you know, we don't have a CFO. We have an acting CFO who's doing a great job, and I'm sure eventually she'll be an excellent CFO. In that regard, we have received 2 resumes from what appear to be qualified candidates for the CFO position, and the Finance Committee will be setting up appointments to talk to them and see if they would in fact meet our need and would like to work for the Borough of Kinnelon. With regard to our flat budget this year, as I said over the last couple of months, because of the revaluation that's going on in town in 2015, I think, and I believe most of us or all of us agree that it would be wise to have a flat tax for next year too. And the additional surplus that we've recognized from the sale of the excess sewer capacity and the normal regeneration of surplus that we see every year, we should be able to do that, and that will be our objective in putting together our 2016 budget. Other than that, you mentioned the emergency appropriation, and I think that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Steve. Now moving on to coordinating and open space, Councilwoman Sventi.
Thank you, Mayor. Last week, I reported at the workshop, as most people saw in the trends this weekend, that both the Board of Ed and coordinating committees had a joint coordinating meeting. The Highlands application that was submitted was approved. Permits have been submitted to New Jersey DEP, and it was explained that there is a minimum 90-day waiting period until the permits are approved. After permits are approved, then construction of the artificial turf field can begin. Meanwhile, the Board of Ed and the borough will continue to work to get basically their ducks in a row. Board of Ed will work to approve their RFP at their June 25th meeting, which I believe is next week. This will take 60 days for leasing the KHS field to the borough. The Board of Ed will also have to have a courtesy review by the borough's planning board before construction can start. And the borough will be working and discussing the lease agreement and the bid process. As for the Library Board of Trustees, Girl Scout Madeline Florio presented her community project for her Gold Award called Speak Out. It was presented this last Saturday at the library. Her project is to bring awareness to the residents of Kinnelon as regards both domestic and wild animals and our responsibilities towards those animals. Kudos to Madeline for a job well done. Her enthusiasm, passion, and knowledge are infectious. I look forward to this becoming an annual event that will educate residents and help animals. There will be a very special guest appearance at the library this coming Monday, June 22nd at 2 p.m. from the Dinosaur Field Station. And animatronics, T-Rex, will be present at the library and welcome everyone to the library's summer reading program, which will kick off at 3 p.m. All the library staff have worked very hard this year to put together an exceptional summer reading program, but the children's library staff deserve an extra round of applause. Galena and Mary have once again gone above and beyond the call of duty to engage parents and children in the fun and joy of reading. There's an Eagle Scout project that was approved by the library trustees. Michael Propopoulos presented his proposal to begin to build and install a covered locked bulletin board adjacent to the library playground. A lot of P's in this. The intent of this space is to promote library children's programs, and the Children's Library will also be offering 2 field trips this summer on a first-come, first-served basis. Contact the Children's Library or go to the library's website for more information. The first field trip will be on July 31st to the Dinosaur Field Station in Secaucus, and the second one will be on August 11th to the Museum of Mathematics. The Historical Commission. LaCole's renovation update. The county visited LaCole for Phase 2 grant funding, and the request was for approximately $340,000, and if awarded, the borough's portion would be about 20% or $70,000, and from the county would be $270,000 or 80%. And they may have to consider bifurcating this project and making Phase 2 into Phase 2A and Phase 2B, because the county has received 46 requests, or triple the amount of requests for the amount of money that they have on hand to grant. So it's going to be in the freeholders' hands. We should hear soon after June 24th as to whether or not they will fund all, some, or none of that project. So our fingers are crossed. Their annual garage sale was a success and netted nearly $1,000. And the Pathways of History tour, it will be on October 10th and 11th. Next week, the Environmental Commission will meet and discuss the final draft of the tree ordinance. And Open Space Advisory Committee is still waiting to hear about their federal trail grant and whether this will be awarded to us. If it is awarded, they expect to have a start date of April 2016 with a completion of November 2016 to build a trail right here behind the borough municipal fields. And that is the end of my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. And then moving on to personnel and ordinance, Councilman Giantonio.
Thank you, Mayor. My report will be very short tonight. On the personnel front, we're still waiting to hear back from the union representatives about, again, bringing the two groups back together, the Personnel Committee and the union representatives, to try and finalize the Town Hall personnel contract. Our labor attorney, Brian Giblin, has been reaching out to their attorney without success, but he's trying diligently. On the Ordinance Committee, as Councilwoman Sventi mentioned, the Environmental Committee had a few more ideas regarding the tree ordinance draft that they were reviewing. I did hear back from a couple of representatives, a couple of members of the commission with their ideas. I think they're relatively minor and should not cause any problems with the draft of the ordinance, but they need to hash out their ideas amongst themselves, and then they're going to let me know what their thoughts are. So hopefully we'll have that by our workshop next month. And we have a draft from our town attorney, Mark Medeo, of a continuing certificate of occupancy ordinance. As many of us know, our town does not have a CCO ordinance. It's a question of safety for our homeowners in town. Mr. Medeo has a draft ordinance that I will be reviewing with the Ordinance Committee and hopefully being able to present in the next month or so. That's my whole report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Cliff. I want to apologize to the public tonight. It's a little warm in here. I want to assure you that it's not driven by us being overly frugal. The air conditioning, unfortunately, is broken, and we're awaiting parts to repair it. So if it gets too uncomfortable, we can open some of the windows. But once again, I thank you for enduring the temperature in the room this evening. That's the end of the committee report, so now we can move on to hearing from the public. If anyone from the public wishes to be heard, please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and welcome.
Good evening. My name is Alex Carmichael. Address is 6 Dairy Galley Circle. The one issue I'd like to bring up, just by way of background, is that I think my comment is pretty timely, as school is getting out tomorrow for all of the schools in Kinnelon. I did try to register my oldest, he's finishing first grade tomorrow, in early May for the summer camp, which is starting in a week or so. I was told that it filled up within a 24-hour period in late April, a few weeks prior to my request. I was told that there was only 120 spaces in the summer camp, and that the waiting list of 30 was completely full. I just heard earlier that enrollment is 155 for the summer camp, so I presume then that the wait list people got to go. However, as mentioned earlier, it is only 3 weeks. Typical summer camps last a full 8 weeks, ending early, a few weeks before the school begins, for people to go on their summer vacations and so forth. I grew up in a comparable suburban school district in town, and it was presumed that everybody, young man, young boy, could go to a town camp. Neighboring towns like Butler and Montville do have full access, meaning anybody who wants to go to summer camp can go. There's no capacity limit, and they can go for a full summer session around the 8-week period. I know that a number of the kids in Kinnelon are going to other places, such as the YMCA Mountain Lakes. Some have even decided to go to private ones that are several towns away. I found that there is somewhat of a lack of knowledge among some of the parents of younger children, especially if their children are in the kindergarten, first, second grade range. Lack of knowledge about the summer camp in Kinnelon. I believe that, based on my experience, and I do have some experience in this area, that summer camps are generally low cost, especially when using existing facilities. So I believe the rec director told me that Kinnelon's is in Stony Brook, as we have basically Stony Brook and then Kiel, Pearl, or Miller. In the high school, we have 3 distinct areas where summer camp activities could take place. The tuition, I believe, is $120 a week. Given the low overhead, primarily materials and paying employees, often teenagers and college students, you'd probably be looking at a profit of maybe $100 per week per child per summer. again, I think we have the facilities, both indoor and outdoor, for it, and I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to present.
Thank you.
Do you still want to get your child in? I mean,
No,
for this year?
we've made other arrangements, and again, I wasn't contacted back. The new rec director, I think her name is Melanie.
Yes.
She did say she was new. I think she's been only around a year or so. And she, again, without my pushing her, she was very frank about she's just getting adjusted in the position. Again, she said that she said something to the effect that they'll try to get it to 5 weeks for next summer. That there may have been a conflict with a religious type camp at the Catholic church off Faison Lake Road. So that's really what she gave me. She didn't have any more information than that. Again, she was very friendly about it. But I did, again, politely give my frustrations, about that to her. So I have made other arrangements. I have younger children, so obviously I have a self-interest in trying to get as most accommodating and lengthy a summer camp in town as possible.
If my memory serves, I think the summer camp used to be 2 weeks. This year they changed it to 3 weeks. So perhaps in the future they will be able to expand it. I'm a member of the rec committee, as is Councilman Barish. So, we'll bring it to Melanie's attention again. I know you spoke to her, but, see if there's any possibilities.
Yeah, I can concur with your review that 5 weeks, I think, is the intention for next year, and I think we're just trying to avoid expanding too rapidly and handling too many people and failing all the kids. So, yeah, we are growing it from the previous rec director with Melanie in place, and appreciate your comments. It does guide us.
Okay, I'd be happy to volunteer a little time or energy. I know Mr. Frieda is not here today and is head of that.
We love volunteers.
So yeah, yeah. So again, if there's some way, what would be the proper follow-up?
You can either stop by and see Melanie upstairs. She'd be glad to take your name, or you can always email me, Barish at kinnelonborough.org. That's B-O-R-O.
Okay.
You can get a hold of Jimmy too by his email. It's listed on the website.
Right. Perfect.
Okay, great. All right, so I'll follow up with you guys on that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity, guys.
Thank you.
I'm Bill Yago, 109 Faison Lakes Road. I just wanted to come up and thank Dan for his words of encouragement, and hopefully just try to clarify what you were saying about the dump, or the dump being closed. It was a concern of citizens who came to us when they found out that the people who were working the dump were given pink slips and not laid off temporarily. So there was concern as to what was going on with the dump. We weren't saying that the dump was being closed or that there was some scheme to close the dump. We were just assuring people that we would make sure that the dump reopened. So I'm sorry if there was any confusion, and I really apologize if it was taken the wrong way by anybody. And I apologize to the residents of Kinnelon if there was any kind of misunderstanding there. I just wanted to clarify that. And I truly appreciate your words of encouragement. And hopefully we'll still be working together. I'm sure you're still going to...
I'll still be doing what I always do, Bill. I always volunteer my time, so
Yeah.
I'll be doing with the vets and OLM and with the Knights of Columbus. I always try to help somebody in need.
I appreciate that. And thanks for everything you do. And I hope that just cleared everything.
Thank you, Bill.
Bill, before you leave, I just want to say congratulations and thank you for running a very positive campaign. When you get on this side of the dais, we call it a recycling center.
Oh,
okay. Just for the record. So, no, a little bit different nomenclature, but understand the intent of the comments. But congratulations again.
Yes.
Jack Glazer, 68 Green Hill. I recently had the opportunity to read the report on the, or assessment of the condition of our rec fields. It was done by Andrew Shuckers, apparently the husband of Melanie, but he has a lot of experience and a lot of expertise, being the general manager of a golf course, Paramus Golf Club, and director of golf at Bergen County. And I say that because you've got to take this serious. Has everybody read it?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you're going to hear bits and pieces of it again right now. Because there's a lot of stuff that's gone wrong and have got to be fixed quick. I say quick, within the next year. And I'm going to read bits and pieces of this. The Kinnelon Borough athletic fields are suffering from years of overuse and under-maintenance. We must swiftly elevate our efforts to bring maintenance up to consistent and timely modern standards of sports field management. The first major area that he talks about, and quite frankly is a major problem, is the horrible condition of the grass on our fields. And I mean all our fields. I don't know if any of you ever take any time to visit and look at our fields, but every field, baseball, soccer, lacrosse, you name it, they're like cow pastures. Minimal grass, mostly weed, bumpy, a lot of clover. They're screaming to be taken care of. And yet we put our kids out there and visiting athletes to play on it. It's an embarrassment, but worse than that, it's a safety hazard. And I don't know how you, in good conscience, can allow something like this to happen in what you like to call a quality town. Bob, you're giving recognition to the Board of Education. Well, you better look at your rec program. It's hurting. Other immediate concerns are the municipal field complex. Poison ivy is on the east side of the field and growing into the turf. This is one of the most aggressive and impressive stands of poison ivy, and it's in a banner year. This needs to be immediately treated and removed for the safety and welfare of all. We shouldn't have our kids playing in the area of poison ivy. The Kinnelon Recreation Park, that's our new facility on Booton Ave. This entire complex has a major white grub problem. Now the good news is apparently we applied Merit, a chemical, which hasn't suppressed the grub population and requires a application of a different insecticide, which is recommended in the report here. Other facilities needs, and this is very disheartening, because there isn't a facility we have, a rec facility we have, that doesn't need repair. That's horrible. Buildings have suffered wind damage. On the main building, much of the fascia boards, soffits, and trim have been damaged and not repaired. The building is deteriorating. In addition, the gutters are missing several elbows and allowing drainage directly to the building's foundation. This needs repair immediately to alleviate any further deterioration to the building. All doors must be repainted. Our basketball courts. Cracks on the basketball court should be filled in with the appropriate material. And it's in fairly bad shape. I've personally visited all of this because I couldn't believe what I was reading. And there's cracks throughout the basketball courts, and grass growing in the cracks. So it's been there for a while. This didn't happen over this current winter. This has been an ongoing problem that we've allowed to happen. Cracks in tennis courts should be filled until further recommendations can be made for repair. Identical to the basketball courts. The cracks have been there for quite a while. We got grass growing in them. I don't know how anybody would want to play tennis on those courts. It's a very uneven surface. The benches that were purchased last fall need to be installed, preferably in the next 2 weeks. Building shows much deterioration. Plans for building maintenance must be developed. This is over by the tennis courts, the buildings over there. Garage door housing the baseball equipment must be replaced. Crossbars need to be installed on the new dugouts. New sun and wind screens need to be installed on the dugouts. And maybe you addressed this, Dan. Toilets and urinals must be replaced. I don't know if that's what you were addressing.
Yes, sir.
Conclusion. Tough decisions and a level of inconvenience together with an investment of time, resources, and money will result in a long-term success for our athletic facilities. My question, who provides the resources? Where do the resources come from?
The resources, they can come from recreation open space. They can come from the people that are using the facilities for registration. We do have a plan, though, Jack, and I will tell you, we've addressed each one of those issues. On the 22nd, we're going to aerate and seed the bare areas on multiple times. Okay, we must water it because KRP does not have any watering system over there. But it's been raining quite a bit. I don't know when you visited the field, but it has been growing. That poison ivy is being removed on the 23rd. We have it scheduled for the 23rd, the poison ivy. On the 24th, we're going to rake and pick the rocks on the municipal practice field. You know that we're putting one field out of service. It's all because of overuse of fields, which is the reason we're going to the turf field on the high school field. Also, Scott Rosenberg, the athletic director of the high school, has met with Melanie, and they're going to try for next year in the fall, utilize the practice field that's to the left adjacent to the high school field. To use that facility, we're going to rent temporary lights for it so they can use it till 10 o'clock. And we want to use that so we can keep everybody off this field. That's why I reported we're going to go down 4 inches, get rid of all the garbage in the field, and probably put sod, either sod or grass. We haven't made that determination yet, but probably sod of a good quality, because you can get bad quality that already has some of that clover in it and stuff. So we're going to do that. We're going to fertilize everything on the 26th. We're going to put that dialox down that you talked about the grubs. That goes down on the 25th, the dialox. And we also have report of rain throughout that session. All right, 60% chance of rain on that day. We looked it up. All right, so hopefully that it gets watered in, and this way it kill the rest of the grubs. We also are installing irrigation here on the 29th on this field. We don't have any irrigation here, which is very difficult to grow grass without water. So the irrigation system is being installed on the 29th. We have to have a determination on how the recreation wants to install the fields and how they want to lay them out, so that we know where to put the water, so we don't have heads in the middle of a playing field. So we're waiting on that determination. Football and lacrosse have to get together and tell us what to do. And that's for the fields that were shutting down for a year. So we are in preparation. We do have a plan. It's because of overuse that it is the way it is, and we do have a definite plan to fix.
Yeah, when I asked resources, I meant who actually does the work? Who mows the grass, aerates the fields, seeds the fields? Who does that work? We hire contractors, or do we use our own DPW?
We use our own DPW. We've just hired a DPW maintainer. He started the position on Monday. We met with him this morning, as I reported, and he has a working crew. which is why I asked the council, and we're going to do a vote on it, to see if we can hire those 2 summer college kids to help with the facilities so that we can keep all the fields maintained throughout the summer. So,
You just established
You're going to need a...
field maintainer position.
we did just...
Specifically to take care of the field.
Specifically, just to take care of the fields. He's going to coordinate with Melanie and with the high school to make sure that we have the fields wherever they're covered for the lining, for the grooming, for the mowing. But if you look at this report, it's kind of impossible to mow the grass at the length. It takes 3 hours to mow each field. It takes manpower, and then line the
You know
field.
what? It has to be done.
We know that. We realize that.
You don't have any alternative.
That's why we hired... That's why
You've
we
committed
placed-
to a recreation program, now you got to provide it.
We placed this person in that position to supervise the whole situation, make sure he has enough manpower. That's why we're asking for more manpower.
Well, that's why I'm asking about resources. This plan, now I don't know about your plan, but what Andrew laid out here is going to require either a hell of a lot of resources, which apparently you don't have enough of because you're not doing an adequate job. This didn't happen this year. This has been going on for years. We've had recreation in Kinnelon for I don't know how many years. I've lived here 40 years, and it's been at least 40 years.
That's correct.
It's gone downhill, though. That's the bad news. That's the real bad news, and we've got to stop it. So my question is, do you have the resources? And if not, you better take a look and either add resources or add money so you can hire contractors to do the work to get this thing up to par. Because it's not up to par. This does not represent Kinnelon.
Jack?
And it's not fair to our athletes, to our kids. It's totally unfair. When that young boy came in last month with a bag of glass, that should have been a wake-up call. That should have been a real wake-up call. And that glass didn't appear yesterday. That's been there for years, as indicated in this report.
That appeared recently because we added fill to that, and it was really the fill that was put in there. That's why we're going to have this machine. I just told you, a Bleckavator. You can look it up, Bleckavator, a Bleckavator machine. We're going to try to have a person that's familiar with turf fields, that has experience, actually works for the Jets training camp. We're going to try to get him in part-time to operate this machine. This will eliminate, go down 4 inches, take all the garbage out. Well, then we're going to grade it with a laser to the specifications of each field. Whether we have to leave crowns in the fields, I don't know. You know, until somebody that's an expert can tell us. We're not experts in this area.
No, I know that. And if you're not,
that's why
we
are seeking people to do it. We had the practice field. We eliminated the ice hockey rink. We tried to make the facilities better at all times. And we're going to keep continuing to do so. But overuse also kills it. That's why we're laying off for a year. We're going to rent it from Morris County, rent fields. We're going to use the field adjacent to the high school. As I said, I don't want to be repetitive, but we still...
Yeah, well, that was recommended in here.
I know it was.
And that's been available for a lot of years. Underused, if used at all. If used at all. It's hardly ever used. Currently, they're starting to use it for lacrosse and soccer. But we got to get our act together. We're going into the best time of the year to do this work. The best time of the year is August, September. If you procrastinate and plan and talk about it and so on and so forth, the time will go by and it'll be too late, and it'll be another year of a disaster as far as facilities for our young athletes. This is going to require a lot of effort, quick, and quite frankly, a lot of resources. You have to decide if you have it. If not, a lot of money. And I don't know what you got in your budget. I don't know if you planned for this, but you have no alternative. You can't put our children out on those facilities. And I would suggest you go look at them. It's an embarrassment and a safety hazard. Thank you.
Anyone else from the public wish to be heard this evening?
Randall Charles, 69 Green Hill Road, 50-year resident. I want to commend the mayor and the council. I think you did a great job holding the tax line this year, utilizing about $160,000 from the XX sewage capacity sale. Thank you. It's too bad the Board of Ed's not listening, but thank you. And it looks like you're going to hold the line next year again, another $165,000.
Well, I don't know what number we're going to need to do that, but
But
that is our intention.
that you have the sincerity to attempt to hold the line next year. Thank you. We have a reevaluation underway this year. It's going to hurt. We have a tax increase coming from the Board of Ed. They're insensitive. We have a DPW bond hitting. It's $2 million. We have about $700,000, $800,000 left from that XX sewage capacity sale. If we flatten taxes 2015, 2016, you still got about $750,000 left. Dedicated to tax relief, it would go a long way. With 58 houses under foreclosure, and heaven knows how many are for sale. It's not personal. This is business. We have to take care of the taxpayers. I hope the council dedicates that remaining money to tax relief with what's coming up the next 2 or 3 years. It will go a long way. That's the first thing. Getting back to the fields. Resources, money, maintenance programs. I've been up here screaming about it for over 2 years. And I've been the bad guy. This is deplorable. It's unacceptable. Dan, you've been up here 4 terms? This has been your bailiwick, your expertise. And as a contractor, you know how to run this. And to allow these fields to deteriorate, not only for our safety for the kids, God forbid we get lawsuits from visiting towns. What's going on? It's not, let's fix it now. It's a little late. The horses are out of the barn. This has been going on for years. It's unacceptable. You've been on board for a long time on the council. I don't accept it. You can dance all you want with everybody else. You're not dancing with me. Buck stops with you. You're in charge of this. It's your budget. It's your bucket. It's your responsibility. And Jim's not here. He's in a close second place. It's unacceptable. 4 terms you've been here. And now, if it wasn't for Adam Barish and the rest of the council a couple of weeks ago, now we finally have I guess we call manager coming on board. Thank you. That's fantastic. Better late than never. It's unacceptable. Let's step back. November 2014, Bob Collins is reelected, 62% of the vote. 793 was the margin, number of voters. What'd that tell you? People want to change. They want things going. They want a different direction. It started. We kept Mayor Collins. Gee, 2 weeks ago, oh my heavens, you can attest to that, you didn't get renominated. You didn't get reelected. What's that telling you? What's it telling all of you? There's a change coming into town. The people are upset. I can't believe it. I wish this report was done years ago. It probably should be done every year as part of the business plan. Because you have to do your budgets. You have to forecast 3, 5 years, 10 years out. This is unacceptable. There's a change. People want to change the direction in the town. And I'm calling for it, Dan. I want you to resign. Let's move the change on now. Let's get going. Let's start representing where we need to go. Ahead of time, proactively, we need to move forward. fixing it now is wonderful, it's great, it's got to be done. It never should have progressed to this. That's my point.
I will not resign.
That's too bad. That's why you're not re-elected.
I was elected for a 3-year term.
Anyone else from the public wish to be heard this evening? Welcome, Mayor.
Clint Cisco, 31 River Road. 60-year resident. How about that? I'm going to bring you something a little bit lighter. Concerning the rumors circling Meadtown. A lot of questions have come about what's happening there. Maybe it's premature, but you know how rumors get, and some of them are unfounded, and some of them are partially true, and some of them are just out of the question. But the exit of the jewelry store and the exit of the shoe store, and there's been some empty spaces in that whole complex for quite a while, and I guess one rumor is that there's a new owner.
There is a new owner.
That's true.
That's true.
New owner. And the Marshalls is coming in?
The new owner has indicated he's entered into a lease arrangement with Marshalls to take the 4 ending stores, starting with Mandy's all the way over to the end of where Marty's is. They're talking about, and this is preliminary, Glenn, so you know how this works. They're talking about demising the interior walls and not changing the exterior facade. So the intent is to add a loading dock in the back, at least this is what they've indicated to me, a loading dock in the back of this new expanded area, and change the grade back there for that loading area. And once again, that's going to be the anchor, at least on the right-hand side of the shopping center.
And another rumor, they're going to relocate the bank?
I haven't heard anything to that effect. I know that they were in conversations with PNC. That office is one of the more successful branches in the northern region for the bank, as it's been reported to me. So I think that they're looking to relocate them, but I don't have anything definitive on that.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering too, because you know you got Valley and PNC, and you get them any closer, you might as well put them next door to each other. Let them use the same drive-up facility, and that'll solve a problem for PNC. No, I was just concerned about that, aside from all the deeper stuff that's been brought up here tonight and that's floating around.
Glenn, you mentioned the jeweler. He's not leaving because he wants to. I happen to have a conversation with him, and his lease was not renewed, and
that would be by the new owner.
Yeah. So he thought he was going to be able to stay there up until a few months ago, and he was told recently they're not going to renew his lease. And I only felt bad because he's a heck of a nice guy. So I don't know what they're planning for that side of the strip center, but they're not renewing his lease, so they must have a plan.
Well, the other rumor is that when all those leases of the occupied spaces come up, they're not going to be renewed. But you don't know anything about that. I wouldn't know anything about that. So, you know, that's an unfounded rumor.
Right.
But you know how those things go, and it gains momentum. And the first thing you know, it goes crazy. But take good care, hang on, and do the best you can with all these other things.
Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Glenn.
Anyone else from the public wish to be heard this evening? Hearing none, I'll close the meeting to the public. We'll now move on to the payment of bills. Bills list dated June 18th, 2015. Any questions or any bills that you'd like to have some additional conversation about? Hearing none, I'll ask that we have a motion to approve the bill list as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Your second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman O'Dougherty?
Yes.
Councilman Barrett?
Yes.
Councilman Cobell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fenton?
Yes.
And Councilman Giantonio?
Yes.
Thank you. Under the consent agenda, we have Resolution 6.0115 to 6:30:15. Any comments or questions about any of the resolutions? I just want to point out that Resolution 61615, support for the Borough of Riverdale's position on the board of the BRSA, that is in relationship to the sale of the excess sewer capacity. And I want to just once again go on record to thank Mayor Dunleavy and Mayor Budesheim for working with me to effectuate that sale. I think that in dealing with the council here, we recognize the fact that we had an opportunity to once again recognize an off-balance sheet item, and I heard what you said tonight about dedicating those funds for future control of taxes, and I think that's our intent, to use it for that purpose. Any comments about any other resolutions?
Mayor, I just have what I hope is a simple question. 6515. What location is the Kinnelon Restaurant Corp? Is that
I believe that's Cypress, and we went back and forth because I think there was some confusion on the name of the restaurant versus the name of the corporation.
Right. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Any questions about any of the resolutions? No, wait. This is, no, hold on. This is not, if you want to run for office, we get you up here. You can do it, you can comment on all. But I tell you what, I'm going to go outside the lines. What was your question?
I'm curious.
You have to just state your name for the record.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Doug Kinnelon. I live on Banter Road in Kinnelon. It just says Resolution 6.24.15. In the matter of Kinnelon HYE. What is that?
Kinnelon High. It's the shopping mall. That's the return of some bond funds on the shopping mall.
Bond funds going back, okay? Okay, any questions from the dais regarding any of the resolutions?
I'm just impressed that somebody actually reads the consent agenda.
Yeah, well, that's supposed to be us, but that's okay. If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda as outlined on tonight's agenda.
I make that motion.
Your second.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman O'Dougherty?
Yes.
Councilman Barrett?
Yes.
Councilman Cobell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fenton?
Yes.
And Councilman Giantonio?
Yes.
And as the public noted, we do in fact have the hire of a field maintainer as part of the effort tonight. Moving on to old business, tonight we have public hearing and adoption of the 2015 municipal budget. So I will open the meeting to the public to comment on the 2015 budget.
Randall Charles, 69 Green Hill Road. We're working on adopting the budget. Big question, I think it has to be addressed, continuing the previous conversation. Are we going to allocate enough money to rehabilitate these fields and maintain these fields? So we don't have to come back this every year, every couple of years, and have our rec kids come in and hold bags of dirt. Somebody should be held accountable for that soil coming in and if it wasn't screened. That's involving the spec, and that's involving an inspection, a QA/QC inspection upon delivery. Somebody should have signed off on it. So all above is guilty. Budgets for these recreation fields, rule of thumb, 10%, plus or minus. You build in a little cushion. Mother Nature is not very kind to us up here. We're probably going to have other problems. But there still has to be addressed, and it has to be done either a 3-year, a 5-year, or a 10-year plan. These costs have to be included in the budgets. And I'm stressing to you, We don't need this because, God forbid, these kids get hurt down there or a parent. Hell's going to be tough. And that's why I'm requesting that the council take a deep breath. Now's the time. Go back with your pencil, and if we have to put a little money in somewhere, move from someplace else. If we have to move money from the rec special fund, we have to move any money from any other funds that the rec department has, from its entry fees, its registration fees, much like the dog, what they do in the Board of Health, all the money collected in licenses comes back to the borough and goes into a borough account. Maybe it's time we do this, so we have a full accounting, it's totally transparent. We know where the funds are, because we're here to support the kids. Again, it's unacceptable. Please take a deep breath and go back. Now's the time. Please. And do what you have to do, and we bite the bullet now so we avoid coming back and doing this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other person from the public wish to address regarding this year's budget?
Jack Glazer, 68 Green Hill. Randy just brought up an interesting point. The rec budget. What is the rec budget? It's not part of the town budget, the municipal budget?
No, it's part of the municipal budget. It's pretty much self-funding. The fees charged pay for the majority of the recreation department.
So it's reported, all funds received are reported as revenue?
Yeah.
And all expenses are reported as expenses?
It's part of it.
Under rec? It comes under a line item rec?
Yeah, and our auditor, it's part of the transactions that are, they're municipal transactions, and they're audited by our auditor every year and reported on.
Okay. Because I got the impression they had their own little separate budget, but it's part of the municipal budget.
Every department has their own budget.
But it's part of the municipal budget.
Total is part of the municipal budget.
And reported as part of the, and audited as part of the municipal budget.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the public wish to address the 2015 budget? If not, I'll close to public and bring it back to the dais. Anyone from the council wish to talk about this year's amended budget? Be resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Kinnelon, County of Morris, that the budget herein set forth is hereby adopted and shall constitute an appropriation for the purposes stated of the sums therein set forth as appropriations and authorization of the amounts thereof. General revenues, $1,343,781. Miscellaneous revenues anticipated, $1,360,522. Receipts from delinquent taxes, $408,000. Amount to be raised by taxes for municipal purposes, $8,632,419. Amount to be raised by the minimum for the tax library levy, $705,605.62. Total revenues, $12,450,327.62. Comments, questions about the resolution this evening? If not, I will ask that, well, I want to go back. I want to make sure we have full disclosure here. Municipal purposes is $8,632,419. Open space recreation, $77,500, and I reported on the minimum library levy. Any questions about the resolution? If not, I'll ask for a motion to adopt the 2015 municipal budget.
So moved.
Your second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Frida absent. Councilman O'Doherty?
Yes.
Councilman Barish?
Yes.
Councilman Cobell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spencer?
Yes.
And Councilman Giantonio?
Yes.
Thank you. This evening, under new business, we have the introduction of ordinance 715, which is an ordinance establishing salary ranges for the Borough of Kinnelon. This is administrative. We're not adjusting salaries mid-range here or mid-year, but once again, this ordinance establishes salary ranges for the Borough of Kinnelon. Does anyone from the council wish to discuss this ordinance at this time? If not, I'll ask for a motion to introduce.
Make that motion.
Your second.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman O'Doherty?
Yes.
Councilman Barish?
Yes.
Councilman Covell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Vicente?
Yes.
And Councilman Giantonio?
Yes.
Just once again, these are ranges of salary. This doesn't commit us to, upper or lower tier, but it's, once again, part of the administrative effort here. Whereas the above ordinance was introduced at this meeting held on June 18, 2015, and read by title and passed on first reading, now therefore be resolved that at the regular meeting to be held on July 16, 2015 at 8 p.m. prevailing time at the Kinnelon Municipal Building, this council further consider for second reading and final passage the said ordinance. Be it further resolved that the acting clerk of this borough is hereby directed to publish the proper notice thereof. Someone offer that, please?
So moved.
Your second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. This evening we have resolution under new business 6.28115, Chapter 159, Click It or Ticket Program for 2015, and this is for an amount of $4,000. We're doing it at this point in the meeting because we needed to enact the budget first. So someone offer that, or if you have questions, we entertain questions at this point in time.
I'll make that motion.
Your second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman O'Doherty?
Yes.
Councilman Barish?
Yes.
Councilman Covell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Vicente?
Yes.
And Councilman Giantonio?
Yes.
Thank you. So we've accepted the grant for $4,000 for the Click It or Ticket program. We also have this evening, and Councilman Barish referred to this in his report, emergency resolution for the installation and replacement of computer services and necessary pertinent equipment and software within the borough to assure that essential borough office and police services can continue to be provided to the public. This resolution allocates $55,000, and it is an emergency appropriation hereby made for the acquisition and installation of computer services, servers, and necessary pertinent equipment and software in the amount of $55,000. Anyone from the council wish to discuss the resolution? I think I just heard Councilman Barish give a sigh.
Yes.
Someone offer that, please?
I'll make the motion.
Your second.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman O'Doherty?
Yes.
Councilman Barish?
Yes.
Councilman Covell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Vicente?
Yes.
And Councilman Giantonio?
Yes.
This evening, I'll ask the acting clerk to please read the tax collector's report and investment
One
officer's
more new
report.
business.
I'm sorry. Dan.
One more new business. As I mentioned in my report, I'd like to get authorization to hire the 2 summer employees, college students, to assist for July and August with the field maintenance.
I'll bring it back to the dais. We didn't talk about this during work session. This is.
I know that. It only came up at this meeting this morning, but if we...
It's not on the agenda. We didn't advertise for the position. We don't have salary ranges. So there's a lot of gray area. I understand there's an issue as far as trying to get resources on board, so I'll bring it back to the dais. I'll defer to you, Dan. What is the salary range?
The salary range should be between $10 and $12 an hour. We feel that we have the money allocated from the $30K we did last week at this meeting. We allocated that towards the recreation for the field. We feel that we have that money. We can utilize these people during the summer to assist in the program. As you know, we have a young full-time, part-time employee who's doing an excellent job, and we like to add these two people.
I remember, Dan, we've done this in the past in the summer. It's not,
Yes, we have. It's not something it's new. We've done this
We've done it in the past to help the manpower during the
field
summer.
maintenance, because we have a lot of people go on vacation during the summer, et cetera, that are full-time employees that normally do the field maintenance. So this would help us in that situation. Also give 2 local resident students that are going to go to college the ability to have summer employment.
Right, but we did not, just for the record, we didn't advertise this. We didn't throw it out to the general public as far as their opportunity to invest. So I would prefer, before we commit to two specific individuals, that we actually approve the hiring of two individuals without naming their names, and then defer to the DPW chair and DPW superintendent to make selections on who they think is appropriate. I'm just a little bit more comfortable with that as opposed to already having two people identified. So any other comments or questions?
I don't think Dan had two people in mind. I think he had two positions in mind.
No, you had said that you said you have two college people.
No, the other people are the Jets. There's two other people that they're looking to do part-time, possibly. One is a Jets employee, but that has nothing to do with the two colleges.
But what you reported was that you identified two college students
to
work for this position, which is outside of, that's what we reported. That's what it was reported. That's why I'm a little concerned about that. I just want to be transparent that, once
there's nobody in particular.
Okay.
No names.
Just a little different positions.
Right.
Just to approve the positions.
That's a little different than what was reported, which is good.
And this will be also advertised on the borough website as...
No, these are not volunteers. The DPW hires the best candidates who might apply for the job. We don't advertise for... These are not volunteers that we're looking for.
Well, we advertise other positions on the borough website, do we not, other than volunteers?
No, not necessarily.
I just want to be transparent here. So, listen, we're going to approve, hopefully this evening, two positions for summer help for the DPW, and once again, refer back to the DPW and superintendent to make the hiring decision, okay? If that's okay with the balance of the council? Okay.
That's good.
That's fine.
Okay, and the dollar range again is $10 to...
10 to 12. That's what I was told this morning.
Do you want to go a little higher?
Do you want to go 10 to 14?
Okay, so at a dollar range of 10 to 14, just so we get...
We budgeted, and we figured it's going to cost us about $6,000.
No.
You take the job at 25?
You're looking for a job? Listen, hold... Just clarifying the resolution, we are establishing, consistent with prior years, two summertime positions for help at the DPW at a hourly dollar range of $10 to $14 an hour with no benefits. Questions, comments? Someone offer that, please.
I offer that.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilman O'Doherty?
Yes.
Councilman Barish?
Yes.
Councilman Covell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Senti?
Yes.
Councilman Giantonio?
Yes.
And just for next year, if we could, get this on the consent agenda or the workshop agenda before this meeting, I think that would be in the effort of being transparent here. Tonight, we have tax collector's report and investment officer's report.
During the month of May 2015, the tax collector's office processed a total of $8,077,024.41. The investments officer's report, a total of $813.36, was earned in interest for the month of May.
Ask the clerk to file the report as read. We'll move on to the district school payment, $2,889,430.92. Someone offer that, please?
So moved.
Your second?
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilman O'Doherty?
Yes.
Councilman Barish?
Yes.
Councilman Covell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Senti?
Yes.
And Councilman Giantonio?
Yes.
Next agenda item is the appointment to Camelot of Reverend Beverly Sullivan. And I just want to make a comment about the Reverend. She is just an exceptional part of our community. I think that the outreach that she's done for not only the church but for the balance of the community is pretty outstanding, and I want to thank her for volunteering her time to serve on Camelot. She had spoken to me about a month ago, and I know she spoke to also Jim Frieda. So someone offer that appointment, please.
I'll make the motion.
Here a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations to the Reverend. For personnel this evening, we have a closed item, but I just want to clarify that we did receive some correspondence from our labor attorney who indicates that he is in fact going to be meeting with representatives from the DPW union. So I'm not sure what the purpose is to go into a close this night. We did have that being, I think, the only item other than, unless I'm wrong, Cliff.
No.
Yes, there is personnel issue on the negotiations of the contract, which we have to bring into closed on the salary? Do you recall?
That's the one that Labor Council is saying he's going to meet with the DPW shop stewards and...
No, that's not the one.
No?
That's a different issue. That's another issue.
Okay. You're going to have to frame this for me, because I'm not sure exactly what...
Having concluded the regular agenda, I believe it's the desire of the council to go into closed session for the limited purpose of discussing personnel as related to DPW contracts and collective bargaining agreements of some kind. I'm hopeful that the closed session will last approximately 15 minutes, that the council will emerge from closed session, may or may not undertake business at that time, and then we'll likely close out the final portion of the public hearing. Did I miss anything, Dan? I'm sorry.
Yes, there was one attorney that was rushed for this meeting, and he declined appearance.
Okay, so the discussion...
There was one employee that was rushed.
I thought you said attorney. You said
No,
employee.
sorry, it was employee that was rushed, not attorney. You're the attorney, sorry.
Okay, so having said that, if someone would like to convert that into the form of a motion and...
I just think you did. So I'll ask that the council take a motion on going to close, but before we do that, I just, once again, I want to wish the public a very safe and enjoyable summer. It was one long winter. Thank you for putting up with the temperature, but summer is here, so thank you for coming out. Someone please offer the motion to go into close as framed by the borough attorney.
I'll make that motion.
Your second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are enclosed. Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Barish and a second by...
Second, Carol Vicente.
by the woman down there that forgot her name. So that's the one. Do I have all those in favor of going back into open?
Shirley. Aye.
Aye.
We.
Thank you. Mark, can I just ask you open the door?
But the hearing?
They took us all of 7 minutes.
That's the time we were allotted. Not bad. Can I go home and go to bed now?
Thank you. Mark, you want to invite the public back in? We're just going to adjourn, but...
I'm sorry?
Do you want to invite them back in? We're just going to adjourn.
Yes, if we wanted them back, I said, I don't think it's mandatory, but welcome them back.
Okay.
Motions to adjourn.
Well, we're working on that. Any other business come before the mayor and council this evening? If not, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
You second. All in favor?
Aye.
We.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
So do you want to look at your calendar? Do you want to look at it or email me back? Let me know.